You been staying here for a while? What's up? Is this your place? So you're the one who called?
What's that?
You're the one who called?
I didn't call.
Huh?
First, I have to say my thoughts and prayers do go out to that officer's family. I'm going to link the video, the full video, in the description of my video so that you can see it. It is graphic. I know you guys can handle it, but it is a pretty graphic video. My name is Frank Latella. I am a law enforcement firearms instructor. I'm a self-defense instructor, and I own a gun shop in South Florida. It's called Boynton Guns. We're going to be discussing what's commonly referred to as the 21-foot rule, although we should start calling it the 21-foot concept or principle, but it is much better known as the Tueller Drill. So back in the 1980s in Salt Lake City, Utah, a police trainer by the name of Dennis Tueller was teaching a firearms class to cadets for the police department when he was asked a question. Essentially, the question was, how close is too close? If somebody has a knife, they're at a distance, when should I take my gun out? How do I know, when and what I should do? The answer at the time was, well, not really sure. So let's test it out. And that's exactly what Dennis Tueller did. They were generally practicing shooting at 7 yards. That was their standard distance for their training and their qualification at the time. So he would say, okay, well, how long would it take for somebody to run that distance? And research shows your average person can close that distance in 1.5 seconds, which is also the average time, for somebody to deploy their firearm from a holster. Now, once again, someone who has a lot of training can deploy that gun much sooner than 1.5 seconds, but also, on the other hand, somebody who is athletic can close that distance even sooner. We established that Dennis Tueller created the concept and was the one, we can call him the founder of it. He did the experiments, but it was not until Masad Ayub, a firearms instructor, an expert witness, and an author, started to write about it and publicize it, which spread the word. So by me doing my research over the years and learning from a lot of different instructors and piecing things together, of course, I would practice drawing my firearm quickly and getting off the X with movement and all this stuff. But I've never practiced it with somebody charging at me while using a less lethal firearm. And that is exactly why I'm very excited to do this experiment and possibly fail while doing it, right? Everyone wants to post a video of you doing so good. Well, I'm going to do this and I'm probably going to get stabbed. So we will be putting the 21-foot rule to the test with this simunition firearm and ammo. So this is a conversion kit to make the Glock into a less lethal training tool. So it operates just like the firearm would. The slide works, the trigger works. We're even using a magazine to load it up. So I'm going to do this drill a few times. Once with a simunition round in the chamber from an outside the waistband level 2 holster. After that, once I find my distance to where I can no longer get the gun out in time, that's my deployment distance. Then I'm going to switch to an inside the waistband with no round in the chamber. So I will then have to lift the shirt, draw, rack, and fire. Quick interruption to this video. Make sure to like and subscribe for more. All right, so that was a hit. I was able to get that gun out in time and get one shot on target. Of course, I would follow that up with multiple shots until the threat was neutralized. Now I moved that distance into 14 feet. Bad guy is now going to be at that cone, and I'm going to stay where I'm at, and we'll see what happens. All right, that last one was pretty close. I'm moving this into 10 feet. So that may have been a double kill. Got the shot, but also got stabbed. That was 10 feet. All right, now we have an inside the waistband holster, and we do not have a round in the chamber. So draw, rack, then fire. We're bringing it into about 10 feet. I definitely got hit. I definitely got cut with that. My natural reaction as I came in was to defend, to block what's coming, and to shoot. But of course, I got cut as well. All right, so we're going to do this again, and I'm going to add a little bit of movement, right? Because, of course, standing completely static and only relying on my arms to do the work is going to be tough. At that distance, you have to understand that that's a very bad place for me to be in. I'm also going to load more than one round. All right, we're at about 10 feet. Having a fast draw is important, but there's a certain time and space where I could be the fastest person getting my gun, but I'm still too close. If this guy has his gun and he goes to attack me, he killed me before my gun even came out. So that should go without saying. I need some basic understanding of how to use my hands. If I'm too close to get it out and he goes to attack me, maybe I can contain, hit him in the groin, attack him, right? I don't have the ability, that I don't have the time or the space needed to take that gun out. So now let's say I do need the firearm. I'm just not strong enough to control him. I do need that gun. Well, how do I create a little bit of space? So I'm here, I have my gun, but I'm too close. So when he comes in to attack me, I have to get that gun out. I have to, let me go slow. He attacks me. I block. I hit. Let's do it from this side so that you can see it even better. He attacks. I block. I'm hitting, whether it's a palm strike or a punch, but I'm doing it with force. He backs up. I move. I draw that gun. Doesn't mean that I'm not going to get cut in the process, but being able to create that distance is important. Of course, backing up physically will work, but the mindset of, not knowing what's behind you, that could pose an issue as well. I am now going to demonstrate how I conducted this drill live fire at the shooting range, running opposite directions of the person trying to cut you. Now, of course, the totality of circumstances will dictate whether this is justified use of force or not. In the experiments that we're doing, Clearly, the person has their knife and they're running towards me. That's the obvious. Well, it doesn't mean that if someone is standing within 21 feet, you get the green light to shoot them. If you carry a gun, whether you're law enforcement, and you should already know this if you are, if you're a security officer, and you should also know this if you are, but if you're a regular civilian and you carry a gun for your protection, you must understand that simply going to the shooting range once in a while and shooting at a target slowly with one eye closed and focusing on your breathing is not gonna cut it. Now, there is a time and a place for that. When you're first learning, I don't see that as an issue. But you have to come to the realization that if you have to use your gun, you must have the repetitions and the training and the muscle memory already ingrained in you. Taking your firearm, cleared and unloaded, taking your holster and the clothing that you typically wear and practicing with that. Drawing that gun from a holster quickly, drawing that gun from a holster and moving, and then of course incorporating everything else. I appreciate you clicking on this video and watching till the end. Please consider subscribing to this channel. Subscriptions do not cost you anything. It helps the channel grow, especially because YouTube likes to censor my videos when it comes to firearms and use of force, especially with the graphic content of the stabbing in the beginning. So if you can subscribe, like, and share, it would be much appreciated. I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below on what you thought about this, if I should do any other drills in the future. And I want you to continue your training because you are your own first responder.